we go from these nasty, dry, rotted 50-year-old tires to some brand new tires and tubes on the Honda Trail 90. What's going on, guys? Pardon the mess over there. We're donating some stuff, so don't even worry about it. This is a bike that you guys haven't seen yet. It's a Honda CT90 that I recently picked up. This one's special, though. It's a 1971 Honda Trail 90, so it's the CT90. That's the official name. But this one is a limited edition that was partnered by S&K Suitcase cycle out of Southern California way back in the day. So the special thing about them is what they would do is they would buy Trail 90s from the dealers, and they would modify them so that they could be more transportable. Let's just say that. I wouldn't say that it could fit in a suitcase, but it could fit very portably for travel, which is awesome because they had a lot of people who wanted to take these things out on Cessna planes and out to different parts of the world or the United States and traveling. So they made it modular. So it's different than a normal Honda Trail 90. It is very special, one of 1,000 that were ever made. But they segmented a bunch of different parts in using their own proprietary system, so you can split it up, fit it into its own crate. I don't have the crate, unfortunately, but they made it so you can fit it into a crate and pack it into a Cessna. So there's a bunch of these little quick releases all over the bike that make it easier to take apart. But this thing was last registered a very, very long time ago. Actually, before I was born, 1984. So I've got some new tires, new tubes, some other parts that I want to throw on, but this is probably going to be a video series. Yes, she starts and runs. You know what, let's just try it. We'll try it. I'm doing the handheld phone thing today because I don't want to bust out any of the big whatchamacallits today. I don't want to bust out any of the big cameras. But yeah. So she still starts and runs. I had to throw on a little Chinese carburetor. Unfortunately, the previous owner, the second owner, I'm the third owner. The second owner couldn't tune the carb, so he threw a different carburetor on there that just happened to fit. And then, unfortunately, he threw out the original carb. So his carb sucked, so I had to purchase another carb. I recently tried to do a little tune on the little Chinese carburetor, but they're kind of tricky to tune and you never get them running right. So let's see if she'll kick over. First kick, kicked on over. Oh, let's see if she'll stay running. Yeah, so well, she starts and runs. It's a good little bike. What's special about the CT90s is they have it's a 4-speed automatic. Whoa, sorry about that. It's a 4-speed automatic, but there is a high-low range gearbox. So there's a little selector down here. You push it on over to 4, or low, excuse me, and then it switches the internal gear ratio, and it makes it super easy to ride trails with. It just becomes a tractor essentially. It's a single cylinder automatic, like I said, but it does have a shifter. There's no clutch. I don't even have the back brake lever because this isn't a clutch. It's like a bicycle. This becomes the back brake lever. This is the front brake lever, and of course there's a back brake back there, but for some reason I don't have this one. I don't know if I'm going to throw it on because everything is quick disconnect. There's a little connector right here that allows you to unplug the front to the back. I've never actually taken this thing apart before. The gas tank is underneath the seat. And the seat comes off too, so just like that, super easy. But yeah, they did a lot of kind of neat little modifications to this bike, and then they sold them. But what ended up happening was no rust in the tank. either, so that's good. What they ended up doing is Honda ended up suing Suitcase Cycles, not suing them, but kind of, what is that called? It's like a DMCA. I think that's what it's, a cease and desist. That's what it is. Cease and desist. And they said, hey, you're creating a liability, because for those of you who are actually CT90 owners, they, like, if you put a junction inside the frame, like, you're gonna have issues in terms of, you know, somebody's gonna look at that. Doesn't that become a weak point? But yeah, so Honda didn't really want that happening, and also they modified the cage, or the skid plate / engine mount, so it no longer connects to the frame, which becomes kind of an issue if you're Honda. If you're a $1 billion company and you're saying, hey, you know, you meet the friendliest people on a Honda, and then you see this company, this small company out of San Clemente, I think they're out of, or Santa Monica. I can't remember. Yeah, Santa Monica. Modifying your vehicle, and it, you know, brings up some safety concerns. Let me think of some other stuff. Yeah, it's got that nice sweeping exhaust, which Honda is kind of known for, and it's great. What I want to do is I want to get there's usually on the factory bike, there's a down tube cover, but because of this junction that's right there, I would have to modify it. And that down tube cover is about $120 or something like that. So I'd have to cut it up, and I don't know if it would fit over this junction. So I might have to do some modification to it, heat it up, stuff like that. But yeah, she runs. It's got passenger foot pegs. It's got a rear seat. It's also got a center stand, which is freaking awesome. I wish the XT250 had a center stand, and it's got a side stand too. Another cool thing is with that, with the Suitcase cycle, it was meant to go onto a little tray, and then you'd have a box cover for it, but you can lock the center stand into place with this pin right here. So super cool. I got it for a really good deal. I threw on these little Chinese mirrors on there. Hey guys. And it's just such a cool bike. But this rubber on here is probably 30 years old at least. And it's cracking and it's dangerous. Let's see, made in Japan, Yokohama's. I don't know if there's a manufacturer date. Let me see if I can spin this thing. 83. So that's the 7th day of the 5th month of 1983, or is that the 5th day of the 7th month of 1983? So I don't know how date codes work, but it's something like that. So 1983, these tires are older than I am, so it is very cool. It runs, it only has 1,017 miles. I actually bought it when it had less than 1,000 miles. So I've put 20 miles on it, just riding around and stuff like that. There's my buddy's Land Rover Discovery. But yeah, super cool bike. Let's get changing the tires, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll split this thing apart. Maybe I won't. It'll be a new addition to the channel. Let's go. So I'm no mechanic, but it looks like I'm gonna have to undo my speedo cable and my front brake. All I'm gonna have to do is undo this front bolt, and then my speedo cable looks like it's a thumb screw. There's a cotter pin right here, and then a little castle nut. So we'll go ahead and pull that off, and our front wheel should just go our axle should come out, and our front wheel should just whoop, just like that. I've been drinking, so yeah, you know how it is. All right, you gotta forgive me. I don't know where all my tools are at, because I've got 3 different rigs, and they all got different stuff on them. We are gonna reuse this cotter pin because I'm cheap. But no, I just don't have another cotter pin. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull this thing out. You know what? Cotter pins are a really great idea. What is this about? I'm just messing up my wire strippers. So that's been fun. Oh my gosh. There we go. Yep. Now we're gonna go ahead and loosen this thing. I think it's an 18. Nope. Is it a 17? Where's my 17 box end? Boop, boop, boop. Is that it? 14, 15. You could always use the little universal one, but I don't know. Let's not mess it up too bad right now. 17? 17 it is. Is that the right direction? Lefty loosey. Yeah, that's it. Oh, is she turning? Yeah, there you go. All right, and then this, we're just gonna go ahead and do one of these. And then, if I remember right, you pull this little nut off, and then there's a little circle thing that pushes out. Actually, wait a second. Big brain move right here. We pull enough slack in this thing, so when you compress it, you can slip it out of there. Let's try that. Huh? Maybe? I don't have an actual tripod, so don't be all judgy. I know how YouTube is. YouTube gets super judgy. I know you guys. Spread the love or something like that, all right? How far do I gotta go? Oh, all the way. There we go. Wait a second here. It's still connected here, so we do have to take this nut off. God dang it. And that thing slips right out. And then here's a hot tip. When you take stuff off, you put it back on so you don't lose it. I wish I marked this. Okay. Now, for the Speedo cable, should not be an issue here. Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. Should just spin right off, nice and easy. And I'm trying to do all this left-handed so you guys can actually see. Oh, look at that, nice. So, brake cable, check. Cotter pin, I already lost it. Lost that cotter pin. Good job, no one. So now we spin this castle nut off. Oh, there's the cotter pin. Sweet. And then spinning the castle nut off, put that next to the cotter pin. We can push our axle nut, axle bolt out. Pull it through from the other side, from this side. Amazing camera work. It's like I've been doing this for years. Is there a spacer or something? Okay, there's a spacer on this side. I almost didn't even look at how this thing was set up. There's no washer on this side, and there's no washer on this side. That's important to know when you start doing stuff like this, because you got to put it back together eventually. So we got, oh, there is a washer. There is, it was recessed into there. So toss that on the side there. This is not an instructional video. Do not use this for instruction. Only use it for entertainment purposes only. Boom, there you go. Now, let's tire iron this thing. Tire iron somewhere. Well, something funny kind of happened. As soon as I lifted up my tire, oh, this is a reenactment. My brake drum came out, and there's a bearing in there with a bunch of grease. So I don't want to get grease everywhere. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out this spacer, and we're gonna risk this seal. We're gonna risk damaging that seal. But we're gonna go ahead and flip this thing over, and we're gonna work on this thing this way, that way. We're gonna take this tire off, throw a new tire on, throw some new tubes in. The XT's doing fine. She's not doing fine. She's leaking oil everywhere. It's sad, I don't know. I'm gonna need this nice rag. We're gonna put the rag underneath the seal so we don't damage it. Or we could use that perfectly good floor mat, but that's not mine, it's my roommate's, so I don't want to damage it. We're gonna do something like that. Gotta let the air out of there. Let's go. I wasn't even recording. So there's no valve cap on there and we gotta take the valve stem out of the valve core, excuse me, out of the valve stem. I don't have a valve core removal tool, but the great thing is new tubes usually have valve caps, valve stem caps, and they have a valve core removal tool right on the inside of there. So what you do is you pull off this garbage, pull that off. Yep, put that thing, and then you see there's a valve core on the inside of here. Watch, we spin this thing off. Oh, you hear it? Air's coming out of there because we're removing the valve core. Nope, and see, it's popping its little head out. Now we can use our fingers to pull it all the way out. Just spins and spins and spins. See that? Look at that magic. Caught it. You can save that. That's still, whoa, this is a fancy, I've never seen a valve core like this before. Wow. It's different. We'll save this just in case we want it for later. Technically, our tube is still good because we've ridden 12 miles on it. Oh, another thing I forgot, we gotta get a tool to take this thing off. So we'll go into our XT250 tire tool kit, and then we should have some Stockton tire irons in here. Using my phone. There it is. Oh. Lefty loosey. And then it just spins right off. There's no rim lock on the front one. I'm not going to add any rim locks because that was not a factory option. Spins right off of there. This is also another good thing to have, so we're going to go ahead and keep that next to our valve core. I already lost my valve stem cap, so that's fun. Oh, there it is. So we're going to put that back on. Boop, boop, boop. And then what we're going to do, we've already broken the bead because this tire is from 1983. So the tire is already loosey-goosey on us, which is great. This thing should be super easy to take off. As I say that, I'm now regretting saying that because I'm probably jinxing myself. But let's get this thing off. You guys know how to change tires, so I'm not going to bore you with it. Let's do a little time lapse. And just like that, in 5 or less seconds, we have our new tire, new tube put on there. Now we have a spare tube. We used our digital tire gauge made by Slime. Awesome little product so far until I dropped it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. 20 PSI. That's what I set it at. Here's what we do. We just boop, and then you jam it on there. And then it gives you a reading. Close enough, 19.5, whatever. Here's a mistake that I used to make all the time, is I used to over tighten this little valve stem nut right here. You don't need to get it super tight. You don't need to crank it down, because what happens is if you crank it down and your tube spins a little bit, or you get some excessive tire braking or rotation or anti-rotation, you can rip your valve core, your valve stem, excuse me, at where it meets the tube. I've done that a couple times, so what I'm going to do is just do a little quick, not even like a full crazy turn, just like get the wrench on there, and then like maybe like just a little bit, maybe one, like a quarter more. There you go, and then that's it. And then we're going to go ahead and replace our valve core, valve stem cap, valve core. Wow, can't talk. Let's look at the brake shoes. Shoes look pretty good. Tons of grease in there, so that's good. Let's slap this thing on in the reverse. I don't know if you guys want to see that or not. But I'm going to do it, and we're just going to skip in time. Lows. Never stop improving. All right, so now we have the rears to do. Should be pretty quick, I hope. I always say that and I put my foot in my mouth, but this at least has the quick disconnect on the left and the right side. So should be able to spin that sucker off. I'm doing the hand motion. And then get it off real quick. Of course, there's a brake back here. Let me zoom in for you guys. There's a brake back here, so we'll do the same thing. And a chain over on this side, so it might complicate things. It might complicate things. But we finished the front up. Went on there super easy, didn't even have to do anything, and verified that the brake works still. Oh, verified that the brake works still, so spin it, and can't do this many things at one time. Let's try it. Spin it, brake works, good enough. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the rear. What do you say? Help me, Woody. I don't know, this is kind of a toss-up. It could be easy, it could not be easy. So, we'll see. We will see. There are little adjuster screws for alignment that I didn't take into consideration. Little adjuster screws are back here, but let's see. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Oh, yep. Lefty-loosey. So this one should be this way. Oh. Don't even need to this is just a handle on this side, so we just spin this sucker off on this side, and then this axle nut should pop all the way through. Yep. Ow. We're doing it so far. I don't know. Is this gonna work? Am I actually gonna do this on the first try? Not have to consult any YouTube videos? Well, what? What? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I have my AirPods in. Hopefully it uses the speakers. For some reason the brake don't want to come off. It's like a blonde one too close. Let's see. Maybe if we undo our axle nut, axle bolt, then we'll get enough play to pull this thing off here. There we go. Rear brake's off. Let's see here. Does the hub, does the brake drum stay on there? Let's see. Fuck it. Send it to when it. Okay, so let's see. We have a spacer on the drinker side. We pull our brake drum out. Let's see. Do we need to pull our brake drum out? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Slide this hub off of the cush drive. Yeah, I guess so. All right, well. What's going on here? What is that? What does that do? Oh, there's a little pivot for the brake. There we go. Wow, this thing is so cool. So our cush drive spacers look like they're all in pretty good shape, so that's good. Nice. I don't know if you guys knew that. I didn't need any tools to take that off. And my chain, I didn't even have to get my hands dirty for my chain. So, yeah, that was sweet. So let's go ahead and drag this thing on over to here, our changing table. Our brake drum guts pull out just like the old ones. Still have good shoes in there. Put this face down and we do the same thing that we did last time. You don't need to see that again because it's the exact same thing. It's a tire. Imagine instead of a seal on the opposite side. That's how it is. So let's do it. Let's go. Oh, actually, was there a ton of grease on the inside of there? Not a ton of grease on the inside of that bearing. So YOLO. Let's go. Change the back one. All right, ended up taking a little extended break, but the tire and the tube are on there, so let's go ahead and wheel her on over one-handed once again. And then Cush drive is on this side. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and put her back together. Ooh, whoops, Cush drive's on this side. I forgot to put the brake back in. So let me go ahead and grab that. Actually, the brake goes second, so stay. Perfect. Man, need this. Brake drums. What an idea. All right, let me get a camera position for you. I didn't show you guys this side last time, so I'll show you this side. All right, so I think I got a good position for you guys. So let's put it back together. Fresh tire, fresh tube, blah, blah, blah. We got to get this thing back on the Cush drive. I will focus on your guys' camera angle more than my ability to work on this thing. That might be a bad idea. So Cush drive side is on. Whew. I got to get this brake into here. So let's see here. How are we gonna do this? How are we going to do this? I can't even remember. I took an extended brake. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. You guys probably aren't, but we'll try it this way. I could just watch the video and see how I did that, but no, that'd be way too easy. Let's just figure it out as we go. Yeah, that's definitely how that went. This little armature right here, I don't know if you guys can see it because Patrick's arm is in the way. This little armature right here, I'm wiggling it, is like the, it's like a brake index. So what we need to do is we gotta get this thing squeezed into the correct position. I should have probably taken off my Apple Watch so I don't scratch it. Good idea, good idea. All right, I might need to go on the other side because I can't see anything. This is not conducive to a good working environment. All right, let's see here. Something like that, yeah? Yeah, sure. And then what I did before is I had to adjust this little axle nut onto there first, and then I put, not axle nut, a little brake cable dealio. Let's move this down so you guys can see a little bit more. Where's that axle? I gotta go from the other side. Excuse me. Make sure I'm recording still. Okay, so yeah, this thing goes into this side. Nothing really to it but to do it, I guess. Make sure we don't bend our, oh no, what? I'm dumb. That'll get edited out. Or maybe it won't. We'll see. Okay. Let's get our head out of the way. Suck the brake in. This thing goes into here. Into our brake drum. That goes into there. This adjuster goes onto there. Just put that thing somewhere like yay. Oh, the fucking spacer! I forgot. Christ. Ow. That hurt. Okay. So we do this. The spacer nut. God dang it. Stupid spacer. The spacers always get you. It's all the details. The devil's in the details. Okay. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. My money don't wiggle, wiggle. It floats. That's not how this lever goes. This lever goes something like that. Actually, we're going to go ahead and change this so it faces this way, so we're not going to catch anything. We don't need to do any adjustments there. Whew. I'm going to go ahead and put our brake nut back on so we don't forget it. This goes right here. And then we adjust this thing to where we last saw threads, which is somewhere down here. Last exposed threads were somewhere around there. So that's good enough. And then we put our lever back on. on the opposite side. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Give it a good old solid. I'm right-handed, so this way. Gosh, okay. Good enough for government work. And yeah, still spins freely. Let's zoom out for you. Still spins freely. And there you go. Fresh rubber. Don't even need to adjust it because we're going to eyeball it with our fender. Ooh, looks pretty good. I don't really care. Send it. And there you guys go. Fresh rubber in terms of tires and tubes on the Suitcase CT90. So I got to figure out a name for this thing. It'll be under the No One's Watching channel, of course, but I don't know. It needs a name. Like, my XT's name is Penny. Is this one Pound? Penny and Pound? That's kind of funny, but I don't know. We'll see. Samsonite. Maybe Samsonite. That's kind of fun. Samsonite it is. Let's go, Sammy. If you guys enjoyed this video, just feel free to hit the like button. Yeah, you guys have been missing some XT footage. I know. XT content, I mean, but she's leaking oil. This is kind of a nice distraction. But if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, if you want to see more CT90/XT250 footage, videos, stuff like that, fun times, just feel free to keep an eye out. Leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see. And yeah, hopefully I can bring it to you. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Until next time, peace out. Look at that. What? Look at that. Wow. Fresh.